I have Kelly praying with me today. She's the owner of Renovation Sells. With 20 years of experience and a strong passion for renovating spaces, she's a powerhouse in her industry. She's confident and she'll move your project forward very quickly. Kelly, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. For those who are not familiar, what does Renovation Sells do?
So I like to say that we take the headache out of getting your home ready to sell for yourself or your loved one. And almost everybody that's selling their house has to do something before they put the sign in the yard. Whether it's what I would call deferred maintenance, perhaps decluttering, or simply just updating outdated spaces. So I help sellers get the highest sales price possible and sell that quickly.
It's great. And speaking of the headache, a lot of the people listening to this series is focused on providing insights and resources for those who are either caring for aging in a loved ones or who are grieving the loss of a loved one. And so they're already in the thick of a lot of transition, a lot going on in their lives, on top of normal daily responsibilities. So what kinds of challenges would you say they would face in selling their loved one's home?
So there are a lot, right? I mean, it's a very sensitive, emotional time, and there's certainly a financial element, that goes with selling that. The time management of getting the house ready, in addition to everything that you already have going on in your life, is just general stress. There are a lot of decisions that you make during that time, and selling of the house is just one of those. And I know it's not fun to have people in your home, whether it's your home or a home that a loved one's, but construction fatigue is a real thing. And I'm sensitive to that, to get in and out very quickly and get that ready to put the sign in the yard.
Yeah, I've long gotten the sense that you really care for your clients, your customers, and that's very meaningful, especially in this stage of life, the season of life they're in. When dealing with the home of an older loved one, what kinds of cosmetic work are typically needed?
So, it's typically just visual, not so much moving walls or pulling permits, just really simple paint, painting cabinets, updating maybe an outdated floor, light fixtures, countertops, really simple lipstick on the house kind of renovations.
So really, the simple renovations is what it will really help these homes sell.
Absolutely. I don't think that you have to completely transform the structure of the home for it to have a completely updated look that's appealing for the millennial that's going to buy that senior's home.
Hmm. Yeah, two generations, they're going to have very different taste. So
For
it really
sure, but
is something.
they love those houses. I mean, there's great structures out there that need new homeowners.
Yeah, absolutely. And in those situations, when we're selling those homes, time is of the essence. How quickly can you typically complete a renovation project?
So my average renovations run 2 to 3 weeks. I
Wow.
don't want to delay the sale of the home. And time is money. A lot of times there's still an active mortgage on the property. So, every month there's an outlay there. So I really focus primarily on cosmetic updates, paint, countertops, fresh lighting, refinishing hardwood floors, those types of things. I paint a lot of kitchen and bathroom cabinets instead of putting in new cabinets. It's a really low cost, quick way to give an updated, fresh space.
Great. Now, what about the financial side of it? What would you say to someone who doesn't have the money to put toward a renovation?
So I think almost everyone agrees that, hey, if I'm going to sell for the most money possible and I'm going to sell quickly, I need to do something to the home. And a lot of people just don't have the cash to outlay upfront for that. So I do offer financing. It's what we call a soft credit pull. It doesn't show up on your credit to see how much you would apply for. And it gives me time to run those renovations before you would ever have to pay for that. It gives you time to, make it look beautiful and pay later. And oftentimes the person taking out the financing is certainly not the homeowner. This homeowner could, not be there anymore, but it could be a friend of the family, it could be a neighbor, it could be a relative, a loved one. Anyone can take out that financing and manage these renovations for them.
That's great. Sounds convenient. Now, what benefits do your clients typically see when renovating before they sell? Can you give us an example or some numbers?
Yeah, so my goal is to maximize that sell price. I really have a big win at the end of the day when someone goes from, a certain as is price, we put a little bit of money into it and they sell it for a lot more. So a higher sales price, a quicker sell. Maybe we take 2 to 3 weeks to do renovations, but at the end of the day, you're going to sell a lot faster because you get more traffic going in and then just not having to manage those contractors. So I would say if you, for an example, were to invest $20,000 in pre-sale renovations, you should expect a minimum of 2 to 3 times that back in your sales price. So say a $60,000 return on that. And there are really good pre-sale renovations to do, and there are really bad ones, where you get really good return or really bad return. And I'll help guide towards those things that have the super high yields.
Which is where that 20 years of experience in the field really helps you to guide people through those options.
Well, for sure. I've got a couple of battle scars and I've learned a lot of lessons over the years.
Certainly, which are helpful to your clients.
For sure.
Well, this has been really helpful. And honestly, one of the things you said that stood out to me as surprising is when I asked about the benefits, I expected you to say the sale price will be much higher. You'll get a return on investment financially. But I didn't think about the dynamic of selling the house more quickly. I thought renovations will take time, so it slows down the process. But when we're talking 2 to 3 weeks beginning to end for the renovations, and then you sell the house more quickly because it's more appealing, that's a great benefit that I never thought of before. Glad
Yeah,
you.
for sure. And if you just look at the number of expired listings that we have, you think there's a low inventory and that all the houses are selling really quickly, and that's not the case. Talk to any realtor and they'll tell you there's a lot of houses sitting on the market longer and they become expired listings just because they're not Instagram worthy. They don't show well.
That makes sense. It does. So for those who are listening and want to reach out to you because they don't want to be in that category there, the expired listings, but they want to move their sale along quickly, how can they best reach out to you?
Yeah, I'd love to chat. My phone number is probably the best way to reach me, phone call or text 404 819 1195. And I'd love to have those consultations at no cost and just kind of talk about what we could expect with some quick renovations.
Great. And I'll also add that contact information down below.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for your time and expertise today.
Yeah, thank you, Brian.